From toys from Fangamer to games from game makers, Homestar Runner and Strong Bad have become quite the advertising spokesman for their own products as of late, but which one of their ads are my favorites? Welcome to the annual Decemberween D-List, the show where I list Homestar Runner related things and my name begins with a D. And you may recall that last year, I ranked my favorite fake commercials from HomestarRunner.com, which is a format particularly well suited to the Brothers Chap's sensibilities as they skewer the half-remembered pop culture of their youth.
Low rate, percent signs, I don't know.
And it's no wonder the Brothers Chaps eventually were able to deftly adapt that style into real promotional material. Shorts that were just as funny and slightly off-kilter as their fake commercials, they just happen to be built around real products instead of fictional ones. Admittedly, that does make up most of their output over the last several years, but I'm not judging. They got a lot of cool products they want people to know about. I'm sure if I had a product I was selling, like say a collection of my MST3K style riffs on DVD and digital download, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But yeah, today I'm counting down my favorite Homestar Runner real commercials. And I'm ranking them based on how entertaining the commercials themselves are, not how much I like the product being advertised. Partially because I don't actually own all these products yet. I own a lot of them, but I haven't gotten to all of them yet because I'm, broke. But I can watch the commercials for free, so let's riggedy roll. Number 9. Strong Sad Paunch Baby. Strong Sad is a Beanie Baby, several decades too late for it to be trendy. He's still more trendy than most of his brother's stuff, though.
Ever feel you're having too much fun?
I love it. The pitch for this ad is you need this as a depressant if you're having too much fun.
Sounds like you need a punch.
Honestly, they could have just sold that Teen Girl Squad cornhole board and that would have been enough.
Got a friend who's feeling down? Let Strong Sad Paunch Baby make it even worse.
And then they try to invent trendy games the kids might like.
The Punchback Kid, Tube Thoop, the 4 Snifty, and the Soft Serve Flop.
I don't have this yet, and it's not just because I'm plenty depressed enough on my own. I would love a Strong Sad beanbag. I'd love beanbags of all the characters in addition to regular type plushes of them. But let's be real, the only way I can afford all the Homestar merch is if all y'all buy way more of my merch.
Oh yeah, these are looking real good.
Yeah, I don't think this barbecue needed help being more depressing. Number 8. Homestar Anniversary merch. I don't have any of the items promoted here yet, but how often do I get to talk about a Homestar video that dropped this recently?
Did you know Homestar Runner's old as crap?
This isn't a promo for a single item, but for a whole wave of items from Fangamer celebrating 25.coms. So it doesn't really spoof a specific commercial style or pretend to be some other sort of video. It's just a pretty straightforward, normal ad on its own, just with good jokes.
I remember Lycos. There was a dog.
That's great.
Good jokes and creepy old burrito faces. First, Strong Bad and Homestar talk about the return of some classic shirts.
There's my champ stamp on the back, commemorating 25 years.
Let's not call it that.
Then we get a mini 6-sided die as Strong Sad lays out the playing cards.
It's Homestar Runner playing cards, with original artwork on all 54 cards.
And then we return to Peasantry for probably one of the most exciting merch announcements imaginable. Again, haven't gotten it yet, hopefully will someday, but frankly, I'm just surprised it took this long for this to exist.
Flesh does not move raw, burn it, or devour human flesh. Oh, man!
Also, a Spee-mail came out a few days after this video, and it was a good one. In the lap year list from 2 years ago, I'd rank it between number 3, Parenting, and number 4, Spee-mail 206. And in the original top 20 list, I'd rank it between number 12, Date, and number 13, Crazy Cartoon. Number 7. Strong Bad sings on vinyl. So first, there was one of the fake commercials I talked about last year.
Every time that I look at myself, I can't believe how awesome I am.
Then 3 years later, they made it into a real product, but they didn't promote it in video format, so they didn't update the fake commercial for it. But then, 18 years after that, they re-released that real product in a different format, and then they updated the fake commercial into a real commercial.
You've got an ugly butt and a stupid but...
Strong Bad sings on vinyl.
And yeah, I had to buy this, even though I already bought it twice on CD, and I mostly only listen to music on YouTube anymore anyway, but like, we got a record player as a wedding gift. I'm not gonna have this on record. Or this turntable mat, for that matter.
All the hits.
But he also fights the crime, but not as much. Danger-esque.
Some of the misses.
She's spinning me around.
Hey, that's no way to talk about the 5th best song on the album, according to me 5 years ago. We do get a montage of the album cuts of the songs, dubbing clips from the original tunes the songs are from, which I had to do manually when I was ranking this album, so now the brothers themselves know a little bit of what I went through.
Strong Bad sings like you've never heard it before.
That you were so stupid, but...
Well, like exactly like you've heard it before, but now it's on a bigger circle. Act now, or probably whenever, and we'll sell you this vinyl slip mat absolutely for an additional price.
Nobody can use the cadence of advertising to subvert advertising tropes while still genuinely advertising something like the Brothers Chaps.
Strong Bad Sings and other type hits available on all the stuff that he just said, except the screen has more numbers and an address.
Sure, maybe updating the fake commercial for the fake product into a real commercial for a real product may not be particularly surprising or creative on a conceptual level, but come on, if they hadn't done this, we would have all been disappointed, and they executed it excellently. Number 6. Kick the Cheat plush returns. The original and long out of print plush comes back in a new version, heralded by a nature video.
No one has seen this elusive creature for 18 years. It has to be extinct.
No way! I know it's out there! We're so close I can smell it!
I was so psyched that Kick the Cheat is back. It was one of my biggest fandom regrets that I never got the original version before it went away. And now... I still haven't gotten the new version yet. I haven't gotten it yet because I'm, broke, but I'm really hoping I have more time this time around. Anyway, the return of Kick the Cheat is good news for everyone except for shady online resellers.
What about my overpriced online auctions? I gotta make a living somewhat.
I'm sorry to cheat. I don't know what I'm doing with my puppet life.
Ooh, what if there was a puppet lil brother? It's probably best there's not. The world is not emotionally ready for that.
And a new zippered voice box pouch so you can change batteries!
You can hide the cash and jewels inside of it.
Considering they already made a whole video about what a hassle replacing the batteries was long after these guys were out of stock, I can see why this was a big selling point.
Bringing this beloved endangered species back from the stink of extinction.
That's just a top-notch spoonerism. Every time I think I can't be caught off guard by another delightful Brothers Chappian linguistic twist, they get me again.
Thanks to unethical genetic techniques, they've made him better than ever!
Treating the doll like a real endangered animal is such a simple but perfect joke, and the ad milks it for exactly as long as it's funny.
It's truly a miracle of nature that this beautiful creature has been saved.
Now let's kick the crap out of him! Ah!
Look, more of these are for more recent products because in the old days of the website, they just put a link to new merch on the homepage of the website, and that was how they told us about new merch. They didn't need to make whole videos about it. But now that more people are watching their stuff on YouTube, they gotta tell people on YouTube when they have cool new stuff. Number 5. Talkin' Strong Bad plush doll commercial. This is a parody of the My Buddy doll commercials, but with a Strong Baddian flair.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes.
Talking strong bad, he's my bud boy, a cute little version of me. Holy crap!
And I'm just gonna say it, a much catchier jingle than the My Buddy jingle.
Talking strong bad, a real live plush toy. He says different things when you squeeze him.
I don't know, a puppet playing with a doll just feels unnatural. But Strong Bad loving a doll of himself feels quite natural.
I love you. What the crap?
The doll not quite loving him in return also tracks.
Talking Strong Bad is a posable plush doll. It says 15 different phrases.
Let's say upwards of 14 phrases instead. That sounds more impressive.
If anything, this ad undersells the doll and doesn't make it clear that the doll itself has even more jokes.
Hey kid, I'm talking Homestar. What? What do you me, my push doll's been canceled.
But it's still a delightful little commercial that'll get stuck in your head forever. Number 4. The Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People ads. I do still have this game, but I'm not sure if I still have a device that it's actually playable on. I need to test it out on, like, all my various laptops, but the laptop it did work on, I don't think that laptop itself works anymore. I don't know, maybe I can emulate it, but either way, there were 2 of these released on April 10, 2008. On the Homestar site, there was a fake SPE-mail.
Dear Strongbad, you need to make a 3D Strongbad video game with all the burst graphics.
Even before the 3D camera starts moving, seeing Strongbad move in this high of a frame rate is unsettling but intriguing.
Or did you mean like this? Give me that camera! Ah! Ooh, look at that voluptuous belly! Wow! Down the stairs! Ooh, pizza! That's 3 weeks on!
Hey, watch where you're pointing that 3D!
I will admit this ad oversells the 3D-ness of this game. I'm sure some fans saw Strongbad running around the house here from a POV angle and were expecting an FPS from this and not an adventure game with largely fixed camera angles. But fortunately for me, adventure games with largely fixed camera angles are my preferred game format, baby!
From the people who made that game, Rabbit Dog and Bunnyman!
Okay, I was a big enough Sam & Max fan already that I don't automatically call them Rabbit Dog and Bunnyman every time I see them, but probably like 50% of the time I see them, that's the phrase in my head.
And the geniuses responsible for Trogdor, Let's Burninate Phonics!
Okay, I really want to play some of these boring-looking Videlectrix edutainment games. Where are they? Are you keeping them from us brothers, chaps?
Comes a 3D point-and-click-em-up adventure that will quite literally leave your Wii console a smoldering crater.
Game will not literally leave your Wii console a smoldering crater.
Technically a clearer disclaimer than Butterda.
But I sent them this concept art, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna stick close to my vision.
Don't worry, Strongbad, they'll use your design eventually. You just have to play through a lot to get to it.
Presenting Strongbad's Cool Game for Attractive People! Or if you want to get in on the ground floor of the cool abbreviation, SBCG4AP!
The other ad released that same day was the one Telltale released themselves, an infomercial with some of that bad commercial acting we love so much from Homestar and Strongbad.
It's Strongbad's Cool Game for Attractive People! But you can play too!
I'm pointing, I'm clicking, it's like an adventure.
Okay, despite my adventure game fandom predating this ad by a good decade, that actually is a phrase that does pop into my head literally every time I play an adventure game. And I'm not complaining.
I got so excited, I forgot everything you just said.
I hope this game eventually is re-released in a more current format, but until that ever happens, these ads are a lovely way to remind myself how hyped I was that this was happening. Until then, though, I guess if I want to replay this, I can dig my brother's Wii out of our parents' garage. Number 3. Talk It Yourself Homestar Puppet Plush. The piece of merch the people have demanded for 2 decades is here. Your own Puppet Homestar. Not quite screen accurate, but probably more durable than the real one.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Not this again.
Do you know someone with a terrible Homestar Runner impression that they just won't give up on?
But first, some powered by the cheat looking guys demonstrate the need for such a product.
Is that someone you?
This does not look good for Homestar Runner.
Okay, I need to know, is that Mike doing his bad impression of Matt's character, or is that Matt doing a bad impression of Mike's bad impression of Matt's character?
Spin my bundle.
One advantage the puppet plush has over the actual puppet: lower extremities.
And check out my proprietary dangle legs, Tiny TM up top.
And even front-facing.
Oh yeah, they had recently introduced the horrors of front-facing in that one cartoon, even though they had briefly shown us front-facing a long, long time ago. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the horror of biblically accurate Homestar eyes. As a side note, my one criticism of the product itself is that all the eyes it comes with all face the same way. Like the little curly bit at the top is all facing this way, and I wish the spare eyes faced the other way. I don't know, maybe they'll do an add-on, Fangamer eventually sold a Danger-esque sunglasses add-on for the Strong Bad plush, so I would probably pay up to several of dollars for bonus Other Ways eyes.
Magnetic eyes allow for facing either direction.
Like I could flip it itself, but then it doesn't have whites on the other side of the eyes, which I guess makes for even more horrifying, biblically accurate Homestar. Ooh. Enjoy the nightmares, kids.
And this.
Okay, now I'm sold. I'll take it. I'll take 12. Number 2. The Peasant's Quest trailer. I actually went back and forth as to whether or not to even include this because it is an ad, but not for a purchasable product. But if I'm including other game trailers, I feel like this one should count too, and really, you're gonna expect me to leave anything Peasant's Quest related off the list? The fake Peasant's Quest trailer was my number 1 last year. The real preview has to at least place.
From the company that made that game Trogdor, and that game Rabbit Algebra, comes a graphical text adventure of rather large proportions.
I've talked before about how Peasant's Quest is my favorite Homestar Runner thing, and possibly my second favorite King's Quest game, and I've talked before about how I was so blindsided by this trailer, unsure if it was a real ad or a fake one. The mixing of real information and joke information kept me on my toes.
Can one peasant wearing short pants save the countryside from certain burnation? You decide. Coming soon to a 286 CGA-enabled PC near you.
And truthfully, I was fully satisfied with it as a fake ad, but I was ecstatic that it turned out to be real. And frankly, I think that's the sign of a fantastic ad, when it's entertaining enough on its own that you're satisfied with no product, but the product it's for delivers even beyond that. And my number 1 favorite Homestar Runner real commercial, the Trogdor board game campaign. This was not one mere commercial. This was an entire campaign for a Kickstarter and the product it begat. Possibly the biggest product in all of Homestardom. It's one of the only ones I've seen in brick and mortar stores. Like, I think I saw the Telltale game in a GameStop once, but I've seen this in so many hobby shops. Like, this thing is everywhere. So they pulled out all the stops for this. So much so that I couldn't choose just one of these videos for this list, so I'm gonna rank them all. And I'm gonna do it over here. That's right, there's a bonus D list. You didn't realize you were getting 2 today, did ya? So go check that out.